Hi, loving visionaries. This is Chris Parr from Miraculate Healing, and thank you for being here today. Today's topic is let's give voice to your soul. What is your soul language? What does your soul like to use in order to speak to you? As you find out, cultivate that, you will be amazed. What was your soul trying to say to you, or what were you saying to yourself? Without a voice, what was your soul trying to tell you about your strengths, about your talents, about your abilities, about your powers? What was your soul saying to you? Does the darkness or soul frighten you? And do you run before you stand long enough to hear its message? Maybe your soul's message seems so harsh, but your soul speaks of the light, and it speaks of new forms. Your soul has its own language of imagination and its own life force of passion, its own food of creativity, its own realm of the unconscious underworld. The voice of your soul can give you the eyes and the heart to accomplish anything. So you give voice to your soul by facing yourself and unencumbering yourself. Your soul needs to express his or her voice, and by facing your shadow selves, you give voice to your soul. Have you cut the vocal cords to your soul? Your soul says, feel with your inner senses, not think, and you will hear and feel your soul speak. You see, your soul does speak. Your soul speaks in old forms and new forms. And your soul speaks the highest truth. Your soul speaks through, imagination. And creativity is the soul's food, and passion is the life force of the soul. Ignite your imagination, passion, and life force, and you will speak to your soul. So be it to that. Your soul speaks the language of imagination, and most have riddled down imagination, and therefore your soul cannot speak. You have denied your soul's language. You have barred the soul's realm. Your religious call hell only where blasphemy goes. Your doomers and gloomers suggest that's where you go and rot in the underworld. Even your Greek and Roman theologies, as much as they are open to those realms, see them as dark. They say they are fearful places where one must travel by necessity rather than by choice. The underworld and the unconscious, the world of the souls, has been barred. Keep out danger, enter at your own risk, or don't even enter. The life force of your soul, passion, has been denied. Passionate people are frightening in your world. Most people don't even know what passion is anymore. It's being berserked. It's being weird. It's being strange. It's being too emotional. It's too moody. It runs dangerously close to being crazy. If you must have some passion, then in the bedroom, once a week or once a month. Don't do it any place else, okay? It's incident, you see. Passion and sex have been linked because that is the one area of the consensus that is too embarrassed to look too close in that sense. They make all kinds of laws of what you can and can't do with your body. Nonetheless, you can have passion between the sheets, but anywhere else is considered distasteful or even crazy. What passion is desire and caring intimacy and love that transcends time and space. But that is not what people see it as, you see. It's been denied. Imagination, creativity, the underworld, the unconscious, the passion, the vocal cords have been cut. The realm has been denied. Food has been withheld. And the life force had been suffocating. Those your soul can't speak. To talk to your soul, which others of you may find quite viable, is to reconnect the discord and the disquire in the enchanted and the cherished moments. Was your soul trying to say to you, or what were you saying to yourself? Without a voice, what was your soul trying to tell you about your strengths, about your talents, about your abilities, about your power? And what was your soul saying to you? In a sense, draw a timeline of your life. Not every down moment you ever had, but pick those times in your childhood or teenage years. What were the dark points, the real lows, the modalities, the discord, the deadly illness that almost took you out? What were those dark moments? Also the enchanted moments, okay? There may be few of them immediately, but maybe shorter I lived, but nonetheless, those enchanted moments. That summer camp you could die for. It was incredibly wonderful that you thought. Or that time with Grandma and Grandpa. Or that magic afternoon playing where the world belonged to you. And by nightfall, it slipped away. Nonetheless, it was that enchanted time to reconnect those, not every good moment, but those that spoke to you, peaked for you, lifted you. Then look at these cherished moments through the eyes of your soul. What was your soul trying to say to you? Without a voice, what was your soul trying to tell you? About your strengths, about your talents, about your abilities, about your power. What was your soul saying to you? When the pain or trauma comes to the surface and you can't see the bright side, your soul sits with you in your shadow light. Escape from the recesses you are hiding in and instead turn to your soul's smiling eyes as your soul lifts you into love's embrace. When the wound comes and you come crashing down in pain, your soul brings you to the shadow, the dark light, the part of you that needs your love to heal. Your soul draws you into the womb of the shadow, where you can be reborn, a new form. Dive now into the womb of your shadow and call into defining moments of love to mend the ghosts of the past. We deepen our spiritual journey by diving in the womb of your shadow and dancing with your shadow and soul into a deep communication. You see, as you can use your hindsight and get those messages, and some of them are decades old, then they don't have to keep being delivered. Well, that's hindsight. That's all hindsight. 2020. Then use it. For crying out loud, don't dismiss it. Nah, that's too easy. Use it here as a pair of binoculars. Well, I can see better with them. Well, use them. Use them, just hang around your neck, right? Put them to use. Put your eyes on them and look. I can see better. It magnifies everything. That's right. That's what is supposed to happen. That is what you have hindsight. So you look at these deep, dark moments. You look at this hindsight. What was your soul trying to say? I thought this was about not being invited or picked for an activity. But in fact, I see now, through the eyes of my soul, that is something else, altogether different. I thought it was about my stepdad beating me and me being a bad kid, but it was something totally different. Through the eyes of my soul, beyond the accusations, justifications, and guessing, what was really there? What was I saying to myself? As you take these moments of the past, you can also look at the current and the potential. I know I am heading to something, and I know it will be a wonderful experience. There are a disaster. What would my soul want to say to me? Even that foresight, in between the hindsight and the foresight, that's the insight to your soul. The darkness frightens people, and they run before they stand long enough to hear its message. Therefore, the soul's message seems so harsh, but your soul speaks of the light, and it speaks of new forms. The securities of the future, if faulty, would begin to crumble. Most would run around frightened to death of the crumbling. Others would run around philosophizing of humanity's inability to handle the crumble. You would take time to look around and look beyond the crumble, the reconstruction, the reforming, and see the new form or the new light. If the securities of your foundation are solid, then every day can be an incredible day, week, month, or year. Doomers and gloomers speak and only focus on major earth changes like major earthquakes or fires or floods or destructions or pandemics. Some will move out of the city due to fear. Some will hide. Some will go into survival mode. What if this or that could happen? For the fear of the fracture that was going to occur in their reality. There is fracturing and change, but not of that nature. There is a fracture in the base of your security if it's faulty. Your soul speaks of old wounds and how to heal them through the application of defining moments of love. Next time your soul brings up an old memory, an old pattern, an old thought, an older aspect of yourself, this may be the expanding moment to transform the old into a new form, don't you think? Your soul speaks of new forms, and your soul speaks of new light. Therefore, it also speaks of the death of the old form in the darkness. The darkness frightens people, and they run before they stand long enough to hear its message. Therefore, the soul's message seem so harsh, but your soul speaks of the light, and it speaks of the form and new forms. Embrace your soul. Your soul loves you unconditionally. And your soul wants to see you increase the volume of your voice by sharing your old forms and how you transform them into new forms, from streets to standing on tops of mountains. To realize that your soul has its own language of imagination, its own life force of passion, its own food of creativity, its own realm of the unconscious underworld. Yeah, your soul can speak through these forms. Develop these. Work with imagination. Not just visualization. You don't have to visualize. It's nice, but not necessary. Need to be a limit. Imagination, use imagination, not just imagination, but instead your passion and desires, your logic and reasons within the imagination. Develop your creativity. So do something creative every day. Even if it is only 10 or 15 minutes, maybe you will say, you don't understand, it's a physical world, and there are only so many hours in a day, and I have so much to do. I don't have time to be creative or imaginative. My response is, you do not have time not to. Maybe years ago, when things were slower, you could go day to day or two without being creative or imaginative. You don't have that time anymore. What's happening in your world is far more important. It's not longer practice, but what you are doing counts. You do not have time to not create or imagine. Even just a little bit doesn't have to be the whole day. Maybe it's your profession where you get to be creative. That's wonderful. Others of you need to have that. Open up. The world suggests creating a language. It may be your soul speaks to you in your garden, or when you're meditating, or walking in the woods, or through beautiful things. Maybe poetry. Poetry is one of the last languages that still have juice with originality, creativity, imagination, and passion. It's allowed in the consensus because most don't understand poetry. Makes no sense. Crazy talk to some. Sometimes it's in reading and writing poetry. Create a language. Is it words or written words? Spoken words? You speak too quickly. Your soul can't speak as fast as you can. Therefore, write it down. That slows you down. Draw it, doodle it, and get great art. Whatever, music. Not every bit of sound, but music. For some of you, it's your special song or playlist or anything that gives you goosebumps. Not necessarily jazz, which has been considered soul music. However, the blues, which truly is soul music. But your soul music might be different. Therefore, you may have a collection of soul music that you sit and listen to as a way for your soul to sit and communicate with you. Or a written word that you read and write beautiful images and pictures. Your soul can speak through these forms. Okay? What is your language? What does your soul like to use in order to speak to you? As you find out, cultivate that, you will be amazed. And as you find that written word, read certain passages or certain poetry, whether it's written in your upper poetic form or lyric poetry or narrative poetry or dramatic poetry. Your soul speaks through poetry. Or certain music, classical, country, jazz, blues, folk music. Your soul will speak through the lyrics and the music. Every morning I listen to music, soul speaks. Or go on a walk, be surrounded by beautiful nature, solitude, fresh air, light wind, creeks, a distant bird chirping. As your soul recharges, heals, integrates, upgrades, and communicates to you. Find what works for you. It may be doodling it or working in clay. It may be digging in your garden, going to the chicken coop, walking or playing with your dogs, sitting in the greenhouse. This is how your soul can speak to you. Okay? Develop your language, then use it in sacred places with a unique language. Sit with your faces or power or phases of your soul. Any of these approaches will work to speak to your soul. Any combination that suits you will work, but the key will be the common denominator is now that you have given voice to your very soul, your soul will now use these avenues to speak to you. Even for those that say, yeah, I tried that already or did that already, go back again, because now with the voice, you can be amazed at how your soul can speak and what beautiful messages, not harsh, with clear insight, your soul can deliver. You see, if you give your soul a voice and a way to speak, then you don't have to create as much pain, fear, shame, guilt, etc. You will reduce the amount quite automatically, just by doing this much. Then as you heal the fears and pains, you can reduce them even further, and then you can catch a glimpse of possibly there could be a world, not just my reality, but a world without pain, a world without fear. When the Native Americans could not see the ships at sea, when they began to see them, they saw a flag, a sail, a cloud. Then they could start perceiving more. This is like looking to see your soul. You will see something and hear something, but not sure what. But as you believe and perceive more, you will see and hear your soul. You see, you are the shaman of the future that is to come. You are the ones saying to the world, you see that little reflection there? You see that little crack? Look a little closer and look through the eyes of your soul. Look through the heart of your soul. You will see. As you wiggle your way through and get more of a glimpse like a child at Christmas, sneaking down the stairs before morning, when others are ready, and ultimately a world that is ready, or turns itself inside out, it will have some place to go, that you have to find, not found, but founded. There's a virgin future. There's a crack. There is not a crack of darkness, but a crack of light. But because so many won't see the light, they will miss it this time. Giving voice to your soul for success and fulfillment. More important, for the cherished magic and miracles. For the depth and character with multi-dimensionality, the thrill, the dominion, the participation. To know your destiny with elegance and grace. To create a thriving private world where you can take your initiations to create a world without pain or fear. For you to create a world where there is no pain and no fear. Not a philosophical utopia, but a far-fetched dream. But whenever you dream a dream, generally dreaming, you also give yourself the means and the opportunity to take control of your life with a voice to your soul. The underworld and the creation that your soul speaks of new forms and old forms, dark and light, is feminine energy. The soul's face can seem frightening and dark because your soul seems that way to you, because your soul's truth are far more reaching, broader scope. The soul talks to you, just you, as you can understand that stops you, so you can begin to give voice to your loving soul, and it can bring you fulfillment, enchantment, cherished magic and miracles, depth and character. Once the dominion is open, your soul can bring you your destiny, elegance and grace, and manifest it with elegance and grace. You can. Your soul can bring you your initiation to a private world without pain or fear, in a world without pain, without fear. Once you give your soul's voice. I am the subconscious. I am the remains. I am the wound. I am the pain. I am the trauma. And I will no longer run from you. Let it embrace you and transform your pain into love. Dive now into your shadow and love your pain. Stretch your soul to find your potential strength. Although you may not be clear on the messages your soul gives you, know you will be. Give voice to your soul by not hiding in the cracks and crevices and pain of your soul, but instead rising with your soul through the power of your voice. Within your soul is the book of evolution, and all your innate knowledge. Tap into this wisdom and ascend, brothers and sisters. Your soul is urging you to unfold this lifetime. The soul changes the world through tenderness. You see, your soul is feminine energy. It's not a woman, it is feminine energy. And many women compete with feminine energy, even though, supposedly, you have never been taught how to compete, and many men are frightened of their feminine energy. Therefore, competitive and frightened of your soul. Your soul's light and darkness in new forms and old forms. Your soul does speak to you through, maybe you didn't hear it yet, but the patterns have been set and the messages have been laid. The morphogenesis, where it is done once and then it is easier the next time, has been put into place. To meet your soul, you want to enter the underworld. Whichever method you have to go to the underworld, meditation, shaman journeying, walking in nature, etc. Any method is fine as long as it works for you. Follow the road, then leave the road and come to a safe place, such as the Temple of Souls. It's a very sacred place. Others of you don't do it this way, and that's okay. There are no prerequisites or specific set of steps to meet your soul. Grow at your own pace, rhythm, and cadence, willingness, all that you need to meet your soul. You don't have to be skilled, just willing in that regard. Go to a sacred place and let the shadows come. Comes in shadows, if that is what you are familiar with. That's what you know, the shadowy figures. Let them all converge, all the dark lights come together. Let it take form. Let it in time show its hands, lower its head. Maybe its head will be bowed, tops of its head are less threatening. See it there, them as it lifts its face. It's a man or woman. Here we usually have a mixture of every face we have ever lived into one face. What does your whole soul look like after many lifetimes? Then sit with your soul and let your soul speak. When working with the soul, some people will get it instantly, others will get it over some time, and that's okay. All is well. Okay? So look to the eyes of your soul and feel the love your soul has for you. Listen to your soul. Just listen to your soul. Will speak of the shadow work. The soul will speak of the pain reflecting your life. The soul will speak of your real star name. The soul will speak of your beauty, your power, and your destiny. The soul will speak of your real star name. And mine was Adamar. Look into your soul's eyes and sense the love, the eyes of your soul. See through the eyes of your soul. Something is blooming inside your soul that is eager to love you and is eager to have a voice. That's why it is so important and such a critical next step. What if I told you there is a specific Syrian formula to activate and merge with your soul? There are specific times your soul comes to us throughout our lives. If we heal and then gather these charges and put them together, we generate enough power to bring forth your loving soul. We are Syrian, and we have a way to ignite and for you to merge with your soul power. I can assist you with this in private healing sessions. You each have your own cadence. Your soul guides the rhythm and pattern, but you each have your own cadence. Some of you have a really fast marching cadence, and the information comes lickety-split, and comes so fast you can barely keep up with it. Oh boy, this is too much. Others of you have much more of a slower cadence. It takes its time. Some of you need to sleep on it, or go for a long walk, or exercise in order to understand it, heal, and have a revelation. You each have your own cadence. Give yourself that. No need to rush. Go at your own pace, and remember that, okay? Very important. So giving voice to your soul, it's important. I don't have to do this, but it's fun, it's thrilling, it's exciting, and I want to grow and to become more. No one is forcing you. Your reality isn't demanding it. There are no more shouts and even whispers, but I still want to grow just for the thrill of it. First of all, it can bring you all kinds of success and all kinds of spiritual power, gifts, and abilities, but even more fulfillment, purpose, meaning. With what power is valuable and meaningful, where those successes are enriching, fulfilling, and valuable in themselves. When you give voice to your soul, your life can be filled slowly and more rapidly with more and more enchanted moments and more cherished moments. Your life can be filled with all kinds of magic, power, and miracles. Not too much as to scare you, just a little bit more than that. As you are willing to receive, that's key, willing to receive. As you give voice to your soul can give you depth in the character that struggle used to provide. Yes, those who have known great struggle have developed a great depth, living on the streets, and great character. They have used it, and some who have known struggle have been beaten by it. But those such as yourselves who know it have developed character, have developed depth, but your soul, given voice, can do that same thing. Giving voice to your soul can open you up to multi-emotional mentality of who you are, to the full range, to the more of the range, to the depth of your emotions. So yes, you may feel greater pain when you are in pain, but you also feel greater joy and more frequent joy when you are there. It will give you a multi-dimensional to the many faces of your soul. In this physical realm you are dealing with will give you the sense that you can grow with the thrill of it, not because you have to or be stuck up against the wall because it is the 11th hour and you better come out swinging, but instead it's thrilling and it's exciting. I don't have to do this, but it's fun, it's thrilling, and it's exciting. I want to grow and to become more. No one is forcing you. Your reality isn't demanding it. There are no more shouts and even whispers, but I still want to grow just for the thrill of it. Reawaken your soul's voice, and you will speak and write infinite, non-stop wisdom. We invite you to let us guide you so that your soul, not only with face, can have a voice. We invite you. We invite you. Passion, creativity, imagination. Let's delete a belief. Too much passion can be labored borderline crazy, and I would like to avoid that. Let's change this on the core, genetic, soul, and history level 2. Passion is the life force for my soul, which ignites my creativity, the food, which activates my imagination, the way I speak to my soul. Yes, to passion. So give voice to your soul by bringing back the passion, creativity, and imagination of your soul. You may dream tonight and have dreams like never before. You may wake up in the middle of the night with a realization, a smile, or a gentle sleep and wake up in the morning, or maybe when you are brushing your teeth or in the midst of traffic, all of a sudden, oh my gosh, it's loud and clear as a bell. I understand now. A revelation. Done. Some may take 2 or 3 weeks. Understand, that's okay. It has begun. You have given your soul's voice, and it may take time to develop that voice, but you have given your soul's voice. Willingness is all that you need to meet your soul. It may take time to develop that voice, but you have given your soul voice. Give voice to your soul and fly, and be the wind, divine ones. This is Chris Parr, Syrian and Lemurian Wisdoms and Teachings.